Today I want to share with you my plan for getting the most out of my iPhone in 2025. Completely rethinking and coming up with fresh ideas for how to do major activities like browsing the web, accessing AI, taking notes, using the camera, social media stuff, etc. As I was putting this video together though, something weird happened. I began thinking, is the iPhone still a smartphone by 2025 standards versus just a phone? And the thing in this case, these are some smart glasses, sort of led me down that path. We'll talk about that later. Let's start with browsing the web. I know it seems basic, but you can do it better. The way I'm doing that is by using Arc Search this year, which I find way smarter than Safari. Not only can it do things like browse for you, but it also has features I need to spend more time learning, like long pressing on the voice button to activate voice search, like remembering to pinch on a website to summarize it. Getting the most out of my notes this year is going to be completely different than years past. I rarely ever sit down and just start typing out notes anymore. Instead, I'm getting way more mileage out of dictating brain dumps to AI and letting it worry about the formatting. I'm gonna go all in on the latest version of Craft. I've used my mind for years to keep track of stuff that I never end up revisiting. So I'm gonna replace that with the collections feature in Craft. I'm also gonna replace Apple's Reminders app with the tasks and reminders inside Craft. For instance, I love being able to swipe on any item and being able to set a reminder on it. Really getting a lot out of the daily notes feature for ephemeral, less important notes. And I'm gonna start sharing my Craft docs with other people because they don't have to have Craft in order to collaborate. All right, let's talk about getting the most out of AI. I'll be using my own prompt library more, so I wanna organize it using one tap for faster, more efficient workflows. And if you've subscribed to my second channel, you know I have a goal this year of using tools like Replete or Bolt.new, which are no-code tools to replace features from paid subscriptions and apps that I've used in the past, A, because it's cool and I wanna learn how to do it, and B, because it'll save some money. Several times throughout the year, I'm gonna update my Apollo AI app to make sure I have the best local AI model in case the internet goes out, the power goes out, or some other emergency hits. As a Christian, I'm gonna be using objective reality AI more so I can get second opinions and not have to fight with AI over worldview sort of stuff. Then I also wanna get the most out of 11 Labs Reader so I can listen to more personalized content that I've either generated myself or that interests me personally. Getting the most out of my camera this year is gonna involve using G-series lenses from Reflex, especially the Telephoto 2X. That's the lens that you're seeing me through right now. And the ultra wide lens, that's the lens that you're looking through right now. I've used basically all the iPhone lenses out there, and these are my picks for clarity and performance. To get the most out of my iPhone videos, I've upgraded my studio lighting. In this case, a pair of Molis G200 lights from Zhiyun. Also in the iPhone powered studio here, I'm using 4 light tubes from Newer, which again, aside from the bang for the buck, offer some truly useful app integration. I'm also gonna keep using my favorite iPhone mic system, the Rode Wireless Pro. That's what you're listening to right now. And I'll continue to use the iPhones in conjunction with Final Cut for the iPad for the production side of shooting all this great iPhone footage. Getting the most out of social media this year, which for me is usually X or YouTube, means using focus modes to avoid using social media during work or family time, and also trying to replace mindless scrolling with more meaningful digital activities, like actually getting through some of the books on my Audible wish list. The one other category of ways that I use my iPhone the most would be for communication, and this year I want to make sure that I'm using iOS's built-in features better, like the ability to schedule messages. I forget about that. Could be good for special occasions or communicating across time zones, for instance. I just need to remember to use those built-in features better. Now, part of getting the most out of the iPhone this year involves understanding what it is and how it compares to other things out on the market right now. So I do want to think a little bit about, is the iPhone still a smartphone by 2025 standards in just a second. But first, if you're pushing your iPhone to the max, then you want to protect it like the investment that it is. And that's where the ESR Halo Lock Classic Hybrid case can enhance your iPhone experience in several ways. First, with that built-in tempered glass, which keeps the original camera control feel. It's also got that seamless dust-free durability to eliminate grime-attracting gaps. I hate that in cases. If you make use of MagSafe, you'll like the 1500G MagSafe strength. That's twice as strong as Apple's cases. It's also got 11-foot drop protection. That's 3 times military-grade standard. And because this absorbs impact so well, you can skip that $749 button repair. And honestly, the really unique hidden stash stand that hides out of the way when you don't need it comes in super handy whenever you need a stand, whether you're watching content or you need a makeshift camera tripod. Guys, this is the #1 MagSafe brand. It's trusted. It's got 25 million plus products sold. If you're gonna get the most out of your iPhone this year, then protect it with the ESR Halo Lock. ESR is tech made easier. All right, part 2 of this video is gonna revolve around, is the iPhone still exciting? It's obviously a useful tool. For me, it's more of a camera, I realize, than anything. It's a portal into activities like using AI or social media. That said, I've been testing out these smart glasses from a company called Vitcher, and I had an epiphany as I was showing these off to a friend who had an Android device. So I was like, hey, check these out. They plug into your phone and then it kind of mirrors your screen. And I plugged my iPhone in and showed him, and he plugged in his Samsung foldable device and he got DeX, which is a more computer-like experience, and he was able to use his phone as a mouse for the DeX experience. If we had hooked up a keyboard, it would have been a full computing experience. And here I was with the iPhone kind of just stuck with mirroring, which means it's good for watching maybe videos or playing some games, which isn't nothing, but it really illustrated to me just how different things have become between iPhones and Androids. Now, I don't have to tell you that Siri feels dated in 2025. Apple's coming out with Apple Intelligence, they're rolling it out, and you don't have to look far to see that a lot of people are disappointed with what Apple Intelligence can do so far. Which brings up the question that's kind of been rattling around in my head, is what is the definition of a smartphone in 2025? Apple doesn't seem like it has a lot of smarts baked into its phone right now. And I'm not talking about behind the scenes things or little things like photo editing or summaries of news articles or messages, which Apple has had to push back because there's been so much trouble there. The more I thought about this, I realized I'm using a lot of AI on my iPhone. It's just not Apple's AI. And I've been thinking very deeply about this for many, many months as I've been putting together my AI course and trying to figure out how humans can survive and thrive in a world dominated by AI. And whenever I encounter frontier AI initiatives, Apple's never part of that discussion unless people are like, wow, Apple's so far behind. On the second channel, I've been covering some of Robert Scoble's insights and comments, and people who know about AI stuff are not super impressed with what Apple's putting out right now. So I don't just have an iPhone in my life, I've got several iPhones. I really make use of them. They're useful tools for sure, kind of like a hammer is useful, but a hammer also isn't all that exciting. So I'm trying to figure out what the iPhone means to me in the next year. And I feel like the iPhone is a little different than Apple's other products. I think that Macs and Mac laptops, the MacBooks, are the best laptops out there. I don't think that's even a question. The Vision Pro seems like very promising technology that just hasn't arrived yet. And I feel like Apple is focusing on content as a way to make the iPhone and all Apple devices better. Things like the Apple One subscription, which pipes in games and TV shows, of course, and fitness content. And regardless of if you like all that content or not, does that make the iPhone smarter? I'm also, though, not wanting Apple to turn into a company that just relies on marketing, the way they talk about things to get people to buy stuff, rather than creating really cool, drool-worthy technology that people just can't wait to get their hands on. In other words, I don't want Apple to just be selling a feeling. What I want is meaningful innovation. I mean, I want an Apple robot, and we're not gonna get that. I wanted Apple to come out with a car, but that didn't happen either. You know, should the future look like the future? That's the question. Or is the future gonna end up looking a lot like the past? I get it, the iPhone and phones in general are not going anywhere anytime soon. I know this video had two kind of very different components. I wanna know your thoughts on how you're gonna get the most out of your iPhone this year and what you think of the current state of the iPhone. Does it count as a smartphone? Why or why not in 2025? And what do you see for the future? So don't forget, we got a second channel with all kinds of videos you're missing out if you don't go over there. It's the tech worth talking about. Go check out the AI course. It's finally live. It took me forever. I'm so excited about it. Sorry for mentioning it so much. It's gonna be so useful. Check it out, and I'll catch you in the next video. Later.